can we keep it real for the next few years with ChatGPT, with all these AI tools coming out? I don't know, because I personally feel like the robot can do everything that I could never do. It can regulate my emotions. It can give me a perfect script. It can tell me what to talk about. It can fix all the uncertainty that usually plagues overthinkers, sometimes like me. And it can, I guess, cure world cancer and eventually fix the world completely, and there will be no troubles at all. Well, hello, can we please take a step back and think about what actually makes us humans, and think about if maybe the problem is not within us, and these tools that we are promised, always these external solutions to our problems, are not actually digging us into a deeper hole. Now, I will not make a statement or a claim on whether or not AI will save the world, or whether or not it's good to have AI. I am making a statement or a claim that it is wise that we do not turn to AI as a savior, but we turn to AI as a symptom of all the problems that we could never solve as human beings. Now, unfortunately, we have a world where we would like all people to act in good faith. We would like all people to act in good ways, right? In general. Of course, there's exceptions, evil people, yada, yada. Maybe there are, I don't know. But most people, they want to do good. Most people, they want to see a good world. But usually, human nature gets in the way, right? Scarce resource gets in the way. Interest get in the way. Greed gets in the way. Jealousy gets in the way. So many things get in the way because we're just humans. And now, I feel with the coming of AI and with the increasing literacy among people, that the focus should not be on let's get this AI to fix all our problems and make the new technology, but to make it so that the distribution of these things is proper, so that the values that we should ascribe to are achieved, and we can overcome our actual nature. Because what was the problem with socialism, except for the fact that you always have to have somebody on top, and apparently socialists promising, oh yeah, workers' revolution, and no workers came, is a problem. We also had the problem, economically speaking, that if you leave every firm or every entity to be guided towards some kind of goal, right, for the greater good or whatever, you have the problem of lack of efficiency, because you cannot know what's best for all these firms. You have a state apparatus that is very burdensome, and so you tell it what to do, but you don't have all the data. And so you put quotas, for example, to make the system more efficient, but it doesn't really work, because the Westerners at the time, I'm making a comparison, Eastern Europe, Western Europe, for example, the Western European counterparts, well, they have free markets, they have competition, and apparently the market is perfect and knows everything. But today we have something that could potentially know everything. We have AI that could potentially keep it real and guide us towards what potentially the ultimate goal should be and how we should be acting. But instead of looking at that at all, I think nobody does that in those terms. We look at AI as a tool to increase the amount of efficiency in the workplace, for example, to make us more encumbered in our lives through the thoughts that we potentially have. What do I mean by this? Because this is very vague, right? Well, I will use AI to fix my problem. But do you know what AI will illuminate? That I have 10,000 other problems. And guess what? I cannot fix all my problems. And instead of helping, sometimes it makes you overthink, because you go to the next solution, the next solution, the next solution. And you can never find solution for all your problems. Unfortunately, I don't think you can ever achieve that. When maybe sometimes the solution is simplicity. Sometimes the solution is to allocate your attention and resources effectively. Sometimes the solution is to reduce the access to the thing that is causing you harm. but you are increasing access to it because you're using ChatGPT. And sometimes it's actually pretty self-aware, and it tells you, well, you should probably stop using me as well. But I think, personally, this is a period. And in the future, it will not tell you this. It will try to optimize the fuck out of your life, and you'll become this optimizing robot freak that forgot what the fuck being human is. Like, they completely forgot, like, all the people suffering in Sudan, for example, because, well, fuck the shit, I'm very content here with this AI robot that's got all the solutions to my problems. And the government's selling you it, always savior ideas, and you're just buying it, you're consuming it because, well, I'm well off. But we just forget that we're a society. And people suffering somewhere else, I think, should also make us suffer to some extent, not languishing all day, obviously, but we should be able, or we should be willing to try and fix it. Because the world is, for all of us, as weird as that might sound to more like cold and conservative people, I think you also exist in this world in a way that relates to other people, but we've lost that. We're losing that even more because now you can just shut off in front of AI and it will give you the solutions. But what about the wider world? We don't think about that. But AI can help with that too. We can actually like try to coordinate something like that. But I think the first step towards that is for you, for me, for everybody to try to think about what's actually what actually drives our values and why we are the way we are, and just try to figure out the best way to make a positive change. Unfortunately, there's so many variables that you aren't brave enough, things like that, but you can still try. I've been speaking from personal experience. Like sometimes I lack bravery to go out and say, well, this is probably not the right thing to do because I've been scared. I'm scared. It is what it is. But now we have this objective God, basically. Sorry if I'm using that word without proper reasoning, but you have this objective all-seeing thing that tells you, well, this is how you should do things if you were a rational and completely objective person. Of course, it maybe forgets about emotions and things like that, or maybe it does because it remembers all the things from the internet where people are also emotional. But we don't know that. It's a black box, right? We don't know how the algorithms work. The only thing we have is a tool that can potentially help us fix problems in the past with making humans act in a way that is beneficial for all of them. So maybe we can use that somehow. I think that's a pretty cool idea. What do you think? Like, I think that would be great. This won't save your life, but it's a step toward the right direction.